Today is March 23rd, 2020. We are in our ELA course, of course, integrated with social studies to an extent. Today, our focus for ELA is going to be analyzing. This is Roman Empire Part 1. Our standard for today, literacy standard. Determine the meaning of words and phrases they are used in a text. Analyze the impact of a specific word choice on meaning and tone. And specifically, we'll be looking at analyzing today. Our I can statement is that I can consider how a word chosen by an author or a person can be influential. All right, so for our social studies segment of this, Caesar's dead. We mentioned this on Friday. Julius Caesar's death resulted in a new round of civil wars. So now the most powerful person in Rome has just been taken out by the Senate. There is going to be a very big power struggle as a result of this. Mark Antony, Caesar's chief general, and Octavian, Caesar's grandnephew, both joined forces to hunt down the murderers. So this is Mark Antony, Caesar's chief general, and Octavian, Caesar's grandnephew. Both important people in Caesar's life, one of whom was a very powerful military commander for Caesar, one of whom was a relative. The two men soon started to fight, though. There was some issues. The two men soon started to fight, and this set off a struggle for power. Both of them ultimately ended up wanting to be the ultimate in control of Rome. Ultimately, this would not go into Mark Antony's favor. In 31 BC, Octavian defeated Antony and his ally Queen Cleopatra of Egypt. Cleopatra was formerly allied with Julius Caesar, and she was actually in a relationship with him, and they had a child together. Mark Antony ended up being defeated, though, and Queen Cleopatra, who was with him as a consequence, was also defeated in a sense as well. And Octavian, Caesar's grandnephew, ends up becoming the person to move forward with the power. These are two pictures of Octavian and Mark Antony. This is Octavian over on the left. This is Mark Antony on the right. Octavian was soon to be known as Augustus, however. This is a statue of him as Augustus. We'll talk about why his name ends up changing to Augustus in just a second as we move on to our next slide. But this is some reference for what the two look like right here. Octavian is more well known by his name Augustus, though, a new name that was given to him after he ended up defeating Mark Antony. The title Augustus means exalted one. So a very powerful person, a very worshipped person in a sense. He was given the title of Augustus, which means exalted one by the Senate. And Augustus himself, and this is what I want us to focus on today for ELA, declared himself princeps, or first citizen. So princeps means first citizen. Now, we talked earlier about how there was a monarchy with kings in Rome at one time by the Etruscans. Augustus was very careful not to call himself a king. That was a title that Romans had hated since Etruscan times, when they overthrew the king and made the republic. Despite this, Augustus had complete power. So, like a king, Augustus had complete power in a sense. And like a king would do, he also named his successor. What does that mean by naming a successor? It means that he named who would be the person to come right after him. And under Augustus, who ruled from 31 BCE to 14 CE, the 500-year-old republic that we've been talking about for a while came to an end. And the Romans didn't know about this yet, but a new era had started, an era known as the Roman Empire. So with Augustus, even though Julius Caesar was really kind of a turning point in a sense, under Augustus, the republic truly came to an end. The Roman Empire had started. So what I want us to think about today for our lesson is analyzing. In particular, I want us to think about the title princeps that Augustus chose to use to title himself. So this title princeps, which means first citizen, remember, the literal translation of princeps means first citizen. It originated under the Roman Republic, and it was held by the leading member of the Senate under the Republic. So the leading member of the Senate was known as the princeps, princeps senatus. So what I want you to do is ask yourself, why do you think Augustus titled himself princeps, which means first citizen, was originally held by the leading member of the Senate under the Republic? Why did Augustus choose to use that word to define himself? Excuse me. Why did Augustus choose to use that word to define himself to the people of Rome? So just think about it for a second, and please don't answer with, "Well, I really don't know." This is the purpose of this assignment. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about why the title First Citizen, what that would mean to the people of Rome, and why he would take the title that was originally used for the leading member of the Senate. So analyze that. Try to understand it. And I'm open to any opinions on this. I just want to see you trying to analyze why Augustus may have done that. Thank you.